We have a phenomenal spoken word artist here tonight. Is that all right? I want you to stand to your feet and welcome our returning brother, Chaos itself. All righty?
How y'all doing? All right. So my name is Chaos itself. I spell it T, Chaos itself, but the T is silent like the D in Django. Y'all with me? All right. So I'm gonna start y'all off with a little story. Y'all read the Bible, right? So y'all know about Adam and Eve. Who do you think fault it was? Both. Okay. So I read a little bit of the Bible and I did some research and I did this poem and it's called Your Fault. Hey, yo, Eve, what's wrong with you? I'm sorry, I could be a little bit loud sometimes. I ain't mean to scare nobody. All right, Eve, what's wrong with you? All you had to do was not eat the forbidden fruit. But that's something you probably always wanted to do. You just needed an excuse. Was you not paying attention when Adam told you what not to do? Or did you not trust him enough to believe what he told you was true? Did you want some more eating responsibilities? Did you want to be included in God and Adam's private discussions? Was you confused about the forbidden fruit instructions? That's why you thought you couldn't even touch it. See, that attention to detail weakness is exactly why leadership ain't for you. That and the fact that you're Adam's weakness is why that serpent only came to you. So you trusted that snake more than the man you was created for. So the forbidden tree was convinced you wanted wisdom more than the plans that God made for y'all. You took a bite of that fruit, then ate it all. Then persuaded Adam to eat the fruit and felicitated the fall. And when God called you out on your mistake, you blamed the snake. You tried to forsake Adam and that was whack. So you was made from his ribs. You was supposed to stay by his side, but you tried to front and never had Adam's back. See, you're the reason why your descendants are still living with a curse. You're the reason why they bleed once a month and it hurts when they give birth. You're the reason why compared to men, they make 21% less money. You're the reason why they didn't even have the right to vote until 1920. To this day, they always try to change the man that they with, but they never do. They fight for equality, but was commanded to submit to their husbands, and that's all thanks to you. Your sin got us all kicked out of Eden, and now we're lost, and the wages of sin is death, and we all got to pay the cost, and it's your fault. But yo, Adam, let me talk to you. What's wrong with you? See, everybody was quiet. Eve's probably, I'm talking that. No worry. Oh, so it's okay. It's okay. Adam, let me talk to you. What's wrong with you? See, all you had to do was not eat the forbidden fruit. But that's something you probably always wanted to do. You just needed an excuse. Was you not paying attention when God told you what not to do? Or did you not love him enough to believe what he told you was true? See, God told you not to eat the fruit. And that's something I can't forget. When God gave you those specific instructions, Eve wasn't even created yet. See, it was your responsibility. You let everybody down. God told you to watch over everything in the garden, including Eve, so how can you let that serpent come around? And we saw Eve come back again with that half-bitten, forbidden fruit in her hand. I know you had a feeling something changed, but it wasn't until you ate that fruit that y'all felt naked and ashamed. I mean, you could have let Eve die with her own sin. I mean, you got a rack of ribs. God could have made more women with all that. But you loved Eve more than you loved God, and now we can never go back. And when God called you out in your sin, you turned around and blamed Eve. I guess responsibility was more than you could take. It's sad that the first man ever created wasn't man enough to own up to his own mistakes. So you was able to name every animal in the land and in the sea and in the sky. But if you was able to be obedient to God, your son Abel will still be alive. So you're the reason why men like me are still living with a curse. You're the reason why 90% of my life I gotta work. You're the reason why there's rich, greedy people and still so much poverty. You're the reason why there's racism and social inequality. To this day, we always try to speak logic to our women, but they never listen. But in turn, we fail to connect with them emotionally, and you put us in that position. Your sin got us all kicked out of Eden, and now we're lost. And the wages of sin is death, and we all got to pay the cost, and it's your fault. But the gift of God is eternal life through Jesus Christ, so we good. Thank you. So this next poem is dealing with relationships. Anybody dated someone with baggage before? Once or twice, a little bit? It ain't easy, is it? No. So this poem is about a relationship I may or may not have had in the past. And this is called I'm Not Him. I liked y'all excited before I said anything. That's amazing. All right. I want to love you, but you're making that hard to do. You want to get even on past wrongs. That's why I'm constantly at odds with you. You adding the mistakes before. You adding the mistakes that don't even count anymore. I'm paying for his faults, and he shouldn't even be a factor at all. But paying for his faults is becoming something I can no longer afford. I'm trying to get through to your heart, but you still keep building up all these walls. See, I'm not him. And I know it's going to take you some time to believe it. I want to show you what real love looks like. But I think you've been hurt too many times to see it. You know, and I understand the reason because you constantly tell me all about it. I'm trying to tell you you're in a different season, and you keep telling me that you doubt it. You said you feel surrounded by all this pain, but all I want to do is hold you. You said it still hurts just the same, but I'm telling you it ain't supposed to. See, he was a man who betrayed your trust, disrespected and neglected you. I'm a man who wants to build you up because I don't need no other woman except for you. I take interest in your interest, and to make you happy, I'll do whatever it takes. He's a man who never asked for forgiveness because he thought he never made mistakes. He loved to play the victim and always will put the blame on you. In arguments, he will lose his temper because he had problems with anger too. I respect your point of view whenever we have disagreements. I take responsibility for my actions, and I improve myself whenever needed. But all you see is him. So you get mad at me before the problem even happens. So I end up fighting his battles, losing the war with you because you forced me to defend his actions. I'm doing everything I can to manage all your baggage, but I'm asking for a chance to prove that things could be better than it has been. See, I'm trying to be your husband, a man you can put your trust in. I'm doing everything I can to make things better for you, but what I'm getting back is next to nothing. I am nothing like that other man, but that's something that you refuse to see. But that's something I can kind of understand because that other man actually used to be me. I know in the past I made mistakes and I hurt you. And that's something I can't undo. But you said you forgive me. But your actions treat me differently, and that's why I'm so confused. We've been through a lot together. But now, I don't even recognize what we become. I want you to love me or leave me alone. But you can't seem to do either one. So I'm stuck in between being in love with you and being fed up with you. But there's no substitute to how good you make me feel, so being without you is tough to do. I miss the old you, but you hate the old me. So I want us to build something new. But if you keep building these walls in between us, then what's the use? I want to prove to you that I'm not him anymore. And I know it's going to take you some time to believe it. I want to show you what real love looks like. But I think I hurt you too many times for you to see it. Thank you. Thank you. Once again, my name is Chaos Itself. I spell it T-C-H-A-O-S, itself. I mean, if you want to hear some more poetry, I'll post them on Instagram. Feel free to follow me if you please. God bless. Thank you.
Give it up for Chaos Itself. How y'all doing tonight?